All right, in this video, I'm going to cover the technique for the Romanian deadlift. Now, first off, the Romanian deadlift is not the same thing as the straight leg deadlift. They are different techniques, and but oftentimes they get used, the names get used interchangeably. So today I'm going to be covering the RDL or the Romanian deadlift. Now, when you're doing the Romanian deadlift, there's a couple things that we want to be aware of. Now, a purpose for the Romanian deadlift, and a really good purpose, is to build some really good hamstring strength. It really loads the hamstrings. Now, we do this with deadlifts, conventional deadlifts. We do it to some degree with sumo deadlifts. Of course, we do it with Olympic lifting as well. But this is something where when you're doing more quad-heavy exercises, where you have shins tilted forward, like in Olympic lifts from the start, you do work a lot of hamstrings, but this helps load the hamstrings a little more. When you're doing a conventional deadlift, of course, you're loading the hamstrings quite a bit as well. So this is a great hamstring exercise. Of course, you're going to hit the glutes really hard as well with this particular exercise. So I'd say probably your two largest muscle groups that you'll be working and targeting are going to be the glutes and hamstrings for this exercise. Now, throughout the entire exercise, make sure you keep the core tight. Make sure, as always, you keep a flat back. So most of us have to arch a little bit to keep a nice flat back, unless you're extremely flexible. Either way, we want a flat back, a straight back. We never want to round the back ever, okay? Now, when we're doing the Romanian deadlift, if you have tight hamstrings, what's going to want to happen is you're going to want to bend at the knee, okay? And so my suggestion is loosen up the hamstrings a little bit and then work with your particular physiology and go as low as you are able to go. So in other words, if you start to bend the knees, then don't go as low, okay? Until you get that mobility or flexibility in there. It might just be a matter of warming up, but again, if you don't have that mobility, you've got to work that mobility so that you can get a little bit lower. Now with the Romanian deadlift, this is something else people make a mistake with. The plates almost never touch the floor. So even if we had a barbell and we had bumper plates on here, the plates almost never touch the floor. Now if you have incredible flexibility, they may touch the floor, but most likely they won't. And I tell people for the most part that they really shouldn't. Okay, so again, because that's going to make you bend, it's going to change the movement. All right. So when we're doing the Romanian deadlift, we're basically going to have a slight bend in the knee. We want to try and maintain that same angle. Now you may bend a little bit, and it's okay. There's kind of a little range of motion that you might have within normal, okay? That being said, as much as possible, you want to keep the same angle at basically the shin and thigh, okay? Or close to as possible. Like I said, my hamstrings are a little tight right now, so I'm tending to bend just a little bit. But basically what we're doing is we're going down. See, I'm bending a little bit, I can feel it. But that's because my hamstrings are tight. Okay, as I loosen up, if I put some weight on here, eventually what I want to do is keep the same angle between the shin and the thigh, or very close to the same angle as I go down and as I come up. Now, one of the hard parts is we want to make sure we get full hip extension, but we still want to have the slight bend in the knee. We don't want to lock the knee out. Okay, we don't do that with the Romanian deadlift. So the knee stays slightly bent. We go down. We stay as straight as we are able to with flexibility, and then we lock out the hips, okay? Keeping a neutral spine the entire time is important. Eyes forward, so even as you're tilting down, you can look up a little bit so that your eyes stay forward. Those are some keys to doing the Romanian deadlift. I think the biggest things are making sure you have a flat back, like with any kind of deadlift type movement, or anytime you're picking a barbell up off the floor. Another thing that's really important is keeping the angle between your thigh and shin pretty much the same, only maybe a slight bend as you go up and down. Making sure you get full extension at the hip so we don't short hip extension while keeping the slight bend in the knee. Okay, so those are some components, those are some technique pointers. If you have any questions, post them to YouTube. Stay strong. I'll see you next time.